It's YouTube.
Would you like me to wash your glasses and?
Well, welcome everybody. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Everybody get a chance to get in and get comfortable. Glad to see nobody's wearing their pajamas. That's a good thing.
How do you know we're not?
Well, you know, you're not wearing pajama tops. I could apply to that. I'm ready for the World Series. Yes. Definitely we'll get this done in about 45 minutes. No, just kidding. All right, this is so strange having that meeting like this. I miss seeing you guys. I miss giving you chocolate.
We miss it too.
I miss Cece's snacks. She always bought pizza bread and dipping sauce, and I think she was hungry. I knew she couldn't eat in front of us, so she always shared with everybody. All right, well, while I have you on here, I would like for you to also open your Mentor Classroom and get out the presentation for today. There are several documents that are linked in that presentation that you're going to need, including the sign-in sheet. So if you would please go to your Mentor Classroom and open up the presentation for today, and you'll find the first link in a couple of slides is the sign-in sheet. All right. Well, we're going to try absolute chaos today, and that if you have something you need to say, unmute yourself, probably just by using your space bar and speak up. We're going to have 2 breakout room sessions that we're going to try, and we're going to look at some documents that are in the presentation, so you'll need to open that up. And I need you to sign in, and it's a shared document, so everybody's on the same one in the sign-in sheet. And away we go. If you have a chat question, you can type it in there. And Jessica is going to do her answer that. I am not going to look at that because I can only do one thing at a time. So if you have a chat, Jessica will answer it. And let's get started. All right, our purpose today is to develop highly qualified and effective mentors for the purpose of moving beginning teacher practice forward. Here's some norms I wanted us to consider. We'll assume that everybody that's speaking today has a positive intent. We're going to ask that you stay present and engaged, and I know that some of you at 5:10 are going to want to be distracted, but if you could hang with me, I will try to use your time wisely. Speak your truth, speak up, don't be afraid. And then take a moment to listen. So you need to step up and then step back. And we'll honor our time today. Do remember that some of the things that we share today are confidential. And so keep that in mind. Be open to what we might end up with, and manage your tech so that you're able to stay with us with the Zoom. If you haven't had a chance yet, please open up your presentation. It's found in your classroom for the mentors. And there is a sign-in sheet. It says, click me to sign in. And many of you are already there. And it looks like you're doing a great job of signing in for us. So thank you very much. All right. Today's agenda is here, and this blue link right here is a link to it if you wanted to grab a hold of it. Many of the links that are in the presentation are also in our agenda. And let's see, I got a mentor that's trying to. Okay. So here's our first assignment. I'm going to break you into random breakout rooms, and I would like for you to discuss this. And it's a group document, so all of us are going to be typing on it at once. But write down your ideas, your best practices, what you think about these 4 topics. Okay, so I'm going to break it into breakout rooms and let you share that document that's in your presentation, and you'll get a chance to share with one another. So we're going to do that now. Let's see. There are 60. I brought add 6, 12. And, all right.
I have my calculator if you want to borrow it.
Right?
Go Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. You know what that TB means? Too bad. All right, we're gonna send you to your rooms. And wait, I did something wrong here. Let me try again. All right, and we'll be with you in a few minutes.
right on this document?
Budgets in.
Okay, so yes, if somebody wants to share their screen,
We're not just looking at.
I'm confused because
Short term.
I,
But,
while
short
he
and
was
long-term
talking, he
projections
said,
for the California budget
oh,
are
we're supposed to open
not
this
good.
mentoring
Yes.
and best practices.
This, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
try to be a downer here,
Oh,
but this has serious implications.
and so,
Amanda, we can hear your phone
employment.
call.
yeah, thanks. That whole mute tabs is very helpful, huh? It's a wonderful extension.
Are we looking in the stream or?
No,
Hold on.
it's within the PowerPoint.
Yes.
You want me to share my screen?
I'm sharing it right now.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's easier then.
I had to find it.
Well, it's on the 5th slide and it's highlighted in green.
Okay. Oh, come on, computer. I need you to work faster with me. I'm at home on my home computer and it's like, it's going to be it's thinking it's a Friday. All right. There we go.
You go
Fifth slide.
Dodgers.
Yay.
No, go Tampa Bay. Jamie Brown,
Dodgers.
Giants, but that's a whole nother can of worms right about now.
okay, I'm sorry, it's the Yankees people, all right?
That's
No,
not,
no. We'll do your schoolwork after. Hi, bye. Watch.
But guys, feel free to just, jump right in. Maybe we could do one thing at a time, maybe, or you just all jump at it. There's some people that haven't done this bottom part, conducting learning focused conversations and stuff like that. Maybe
okay.
we could do some, I don't know. I'm just going to jump right into it if you guys want to go at it.
Oh, there. I found mine. My computer's going crazy. There we go.
Don't feel pressure that you have to add, because lots of times I've noticed Steve likes to just say, what are you wondering about it? Like, if you're not an expert at any of this stuff, I have to be honest with you, since we went to distance learning, I feel like everyone pressed the reset button on teaching. Like, I don't know what good teaching looks like this year. I haven't observed enough to know that, right?
Yeah,
I openly admit that. So
I'm with you.
the moment I think I got it down,
I think focusing on their goals as well, like setting goals with them and then checking in on how they're doing on those goals.
Find it, to stick to it, and always allow for the pre-observation, the observation, and the post-observation. All three are important.
So it could be difficult to set
Yeah.
the date for observation. But once it's set, keep to it, right?
Yes.
Oh. All right. And then what'd you say about pre and post? I'm sorry.
I always make sure I do a pre-observation, so we're on.
I actually have 3 screens
Three.
and 3 devices. I actually have 4 screens and 3 devices.
Yeah, I think do you use it? One is the student view, one is your view, and then one is where your lessons you're pulling from. Is that how you do it?
I also have a device for NetOp, like a separate device that's just doing NetOp, so I can see what they're looking at while they're supposed to be paying attention to what I'm doing.
I almost feel like the students need 2 screens too.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of my kids do. They tell me the reason I'm not looking at your thing is because I'm doing the meeting on one device and they're doing it on a different device is what they're actually working on.
Did y'all find the document that we were talking about?
Yes. When I'm doing an observation on post conference, is there anything that we want to add on there?
Providing positive comments, not only negative.
Yes, definitely.
Using data to have the conversation and not giving just.
Once this started, I ended up being the virtual band director for a large group in Clovis, and actually have people from San Diego in our group too. So all the issues I'm running into with adults, we can talk about them with their kids. So that's
Nice. It's good to have a mentor that knows what they're talking about.
do I.
It's so good to have a mentor who knows what they're talking about.
Well, I certainly know how to act like I know what I'm talking about.
That's half the battle, really.
Yeah. These are all good people. You guys are good.
Yeah. It's not us. I put in 2, but other than that,
I can't think as fast as you guys are typing, so. I'm not
well,
much-
this is all 60 of us who are typing in this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's why it's going so
Fun is
well. Be consistent and flexible. I love their advice. Consistent yet flexible.
You know, I've been retired for about 8 years, and so it'd be nice if I could reach out to them during that sacred Wednesday.
Liz, you got home fast.
Steve, you said something's happening at 5. What's going on at 5? There's nothing important happening today.
Oh, that.
Oh. I finally mustered up the words to Salinas. Congratulations.
My wife can't even say Dodgers. She says, well, I'm glad for your team.
It was very difficult. We were looking at this. This is one thing. Trying to get 60 people on one document is interesting.
Are we supposed to keep adding even if we have the same thoughts?
If you see it already, there's no reason to duplicate it. Yeah, I didn't. We could have made individual ones and had you self-report, but I'm new at all this too. And then when you multiply it times 75 people, it gets complicated.
Yeah. I think it worked once everyone got on. I think it was just the first initial time everyone was trying to type at the same time, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Hi, Jenny.
Stop. Hey, no.
Hey, Matt, you can finish your thought right now.
I don't know, man. I don't want to hijack the meeting.
Hey, Matt.
Next time.
Hey, Nancy. And everyone else that I probably know. Hi.
No, hi, just Nancy. Just Nancy.
Hi, Matt. You know me too.
Okay, who said that? I got too many faces. Who said that?
Jennifer, Nancy's daughter.
Hey, Jennifer. I see you over there. How's it going?
We miss you, Mr. Hebber.
Oh, thank you, Miss Quintana. I miss you too. Now I am hijacking the meeting. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on.
Steve, you're muted.
How did I mute myself? I didn't even know I did that. All right, so we've all had a chance to share and refresh our memory. I think that's more to the point of some of the things that we consistently talk about and being to a mentor. Any ideas that popped out at you though that was different, something you hadn't considered?
I think something we talked about was as far as observing, to try and get in to observe our the person we're mentoring prior to them being evaluated. And that's something honestly I hadn't really thought of. I don't know why, but it makes sense.
Nice. Are you, speaking of observations, how's that going? Are you struggling with that? Or is the make a recording and looking at it later working for you? Is the technology cumbersome?
I don't like it. I have a question about it. I've observed my person teaching, and I don't know if this is the same with everybody else, but when I watch his recording, I only see his face and I can't see his screen, so I don't know the student response.
So there's a button that has to be pressed in the settings of the recordings.
Okay.
Where it's a gallery view.
And so that's before they record?
I believe so.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily what's on their screen.
Yeah, it has to be done before. We were having that issue as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, what if they're using Google Meet instead of Zoom?
I use Google Meet too, and you have to click settings and then you click layout and then you click gallery view.
Okay, so if he does that before hitting record, then I should be able to see some students possibly.
Yeah, I had that same problem. I didn't see very many students, and that's hard because you can't really tell if they're engaged if you can't see them.
I know. You're like, I'm listening to you. Good job.
Julie, Julie, can you put those step-by-steps in the chat for us, please?
Sure.
Yeah, that was my question. You guys answered. So we could do a recording as our observation, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
because mainly because I have the same prep period as my person, so that doesn't help either. You know. Yeah.
Some of our schools.
It's not necessary, right?
What?
I'm sorry, the recording is not necessary. We can actually just be there.
Okay, so a couple of things. One of the things we're saying is that trying to get a sub to take over your camera while you go and observe somebody else, it's just not going to happen.
No, I have 2 instructional assistants that I work with. We're all working together. I can for an hour. I mean, I can do that. I have 2, and we're all working together. And I'm teaching them because, yeah, if I get sick, I'm not gonna come back. So I'm teaching them to do that, and they're actually doing extremely well. So I feel comfortable with them doing that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be in the classroom.
We all do. And if it's agreed upon between you and your person that you're mentoring to be in their classroom, and if you have the time and the capability of doing that, that would be awesome. Some of our schools in the county are moving towards in-person with kids in the classroom. I think North Fork told me that they were starting November 2nd, for instance, with a group in the morning and another group in the afternoon. And so it's possible even that we would move back to in-person live observations if things go well. But definitely we can do recordings. Yes, Richard.
It says that they need to go observe others, including possibly even myself. Could that recording still be their observation, if that makes any sense? Is that a stupid question?
Yes. So actually what we're asking you as the mentor to do is to organize that for them by asking the right person, would you record your lesson so that I can share that with my beginning teacher? All of that is permissible, just as long as it's not published. So you have to remember that you can't publish it. So once you have finished looking at it, we want you to put it in your trash can. Okay, good. Other questions about observations while we're here?
I have a question, just to clarify, 2 per semester, is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
And then how many do they have to watch?
The same, 2 per semester.
Okay, thank you.
But the nice thing is that the one advantage we have with the recording is that that's the minimum. If you can do more, we would encourage that greatly. The more observations that you can do and give feedback to your teacher, the better. We'll talk about that a little bit later. It's hard to do when you're having to get a substitute, but might be easier if all you have to do is get a recording and you can watch it at 9 o'clock at night after the Dodgers win the World Series.
Or after they lose.
They better not.
Those are fighting words. I have a question.
It is 2020 though, you never know.
That's true. Steve, I have a question. I have 2 induction candidates. They're really, really outstanding. They're using technology very well. My question is, how do you feel about them observing each other and that counting as an observation?
I don't mind them sharing their ideas, but I would rather them look at a veteran teacher that centers squarely on their focus goals.
Okay.
In the PIC program, they don't have a goal per se that they're looking at, but still I'd like them to look at veteran teachers.
Steve?
Yes.
One problem I'm having for my teachers to observe others, not a lot of people are willing to record themselves and send it out. Does anyone in here teach kinder or 3rd and they're willing?
I don't know who's talking.
It's Jennifer Jimenez. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, I've actually already gotten 2 kinders to record and give out their recordings to my person. So just reach out to me and I'll let you know who they are.
Okay.
And I know that I'm just going to put Stephanie Shetler on blast. She teaches kindergarten. She's a good teacher, and I bet you she'd help you out, right,
Okay.
Stephanie?
Steve, I thought most Zooms anyway, like automatically start recording, or is it something?
No, that's only if you do it in the settings.
Okay, because mine does it automatically, but I did it in my settings. So okay, got it.
I'm looking for a 5th grade. If anyone has a 5th grade teacher who's willing to do that.
I have a 5th grade teacher for you. Reach out to me.
Okay, thanks, Amanda.
Amanda, since you're passing out teachers, do you have a 6th grade?
Oh my gosh, I have the best 6th grade teacher. Yes, I do. I will. reach out to me and I'll let you know who she is. And I'm sure she would be willing to help. She's super awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Oops. What I'd like you to do, and I'm going to break you off into groups again in a moment, is I would like you to read The Tale of the Spoon. The Tale of the Spoon. And then on the next page, we have well, we'll go back to a second. Actually, just read The Tale of the Spoon for a moment.
Where'd it go, Steve?
You didn't open it. Oh, I see here. Oops.
Steve, what opens it?
This link right here. The Tale of the Spoon, the blue link. There's a color theme this week, Mr. Lindstrom.
I see blue, brother, but it doesn't open anything when I click it.
Oh, it's supposed to.
Mine doesn't either.
You know my color is green, Steve, so don't go there.
I think you need to open it in your own Google Classroom.
All right, let me just do this. Let me read it to you. It's a short story.
You can open it in your own Google Classroom.
Let me read it to you guys. My first year of teaching, I met my friend Emily. We were both fresh out of college and had just moved 800 miles from our respective homes to begin our teaching careers. Together, we went through typical first year teacher experiences. We mourned the loss of our personal lives. We called our dads to express disbelief when we received our first paychecks, convinced there must have been some sort of accounting error. We commiserated about the day-to-day stressors in our classroom, schools, and profession. Early in the school year, Emily, with our mentor, Emily and I both worked at low-income schools where closing the achievement gap was issue number one. We were surrounded by a sense of urgency to learn best practices for everything from assessing student reading levels to casually preventing anarchy in the boys' bathroom. Our mentor was giving Emily feedback about behavior management and sharing ideas for an upcoming vocabulary lesson when Emily interrupted with spontaneous sobbing. She hadn't been focusing on any of the well-meaning feedback that our mentor was providing. In the rush of graduating, moving, and starting new jobs, Emily and her roommate hadn't really had time to make their apartment a home. They hadn't even had a chance to buy essentials like beds or silverware. Then Emily confessed something. For every single meal they had consumed since earning the title teacher, Emily and her roommate had been sharing a single disposable plastic spoon. Cue the 1950s horror movie screaming. They simply washed it between meals and passed it back and forth. Our mentor immediately ended the session, drove Emily to her house, and gave her some of her own silverware. Now that Emily and I are older, wiser, and maybe more well-adjusted, we look back on this and laugh. Despite how ridiculous it seems now, it illustrates how there truly is a Maslow hierarchy of needs for teachers. Sure, teachers don't enter the profession seeking money and fame, but they aren't always martyrs either. New teachers need to hear that striving for a work-life balance, simply a spoon, doesn't make them unprofessional or uncommitted to their student success. Making sure that new teachers have spoons may not directly improve instruction, but personal and professional well-being are closely linked. If district schools and mentors aren't intentional about recognizing this connection, their efforts to help new teachers deliver good instruction will be futile. In other words, if you don't pay attention to it and give it some TLC, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is capable of eating Bloom's taxonomy for lunch. Okay. Take a look at the HTTP Padlet candidate needs. So if you get a chance to open that in your own computer, there's a lot listed here. And then list a need that your candidate teacher is having on this document. Is it a low level, a mid-level, or a high level need? So take a look at Padlets, maybe get some ideas and think, what are some needs that your teachers have? And are they low level, mid-level, or high level? Give you a chance to look at that.
So where was the Padlet, Steve? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
There's a green link to it that you press.
Yep, HTTP, yeah, that's the hyperlink right there with the in green. And the document that I want you to look at says document.
And that's next to it?
Right underneath it.
Ah. And you would just like us to type things in that we've experienced with our candidate this year?
Yes, this year.
Okay.
Hey, Steve, I'm on my phone. I can get into the Padlet, but then it doesn't give me the other one to type into.
Okay, well, I'm going to put you in a breakout room in a moment and you can share your thoughts.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
It's okay. All right, so I'm going to put you in a breakout room and I want you just to kind of think about the needs that you're seeing with your teachers. Would one of you share your screen as you go into the breakout room, and you can look not only at what you're commenting on, but also what everyone else is commenting on. And part of your discussion is to talk about possible solutions so that you can offer up insight and thoughts as to what you see and an answer to them. All right. Duncan, you there? So who's the tech savvy one in this room that could share their screen?
You want me to share?
be
I can share. Okay.
There should be.
So I know what I want to write, but I don't know what level it should belong in. Because most of our conversations have been about time management.
Okay.
And I would say that's either low or mid-level.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think everyone can relate to the work-life balance.
All right, I'm going to go with low level.
That'll work.
Well as what you're doing for your job, and you know, write that into your calendar and follow through with it. Because they look a little depressed sometimes when I meet with them. Other times they're up and happy. So I don't know.
I think that's great that you're looking at your candidates and you're really looking deep within their well-being. I love that story of the golden spoon, you know, to be more than just a mentor, but to really look at our candidates and support them as we do our students. So thank you for sharing. Is there anyone in our room that wants to share more about some of the challenges we're seeing our MIC candidates work through either last year or this year? Or is there only 3 in our room?
I think it's really important. I'm a SDC teacher and my candidate is on from GE. She taught TK last year to now SPED this year. So she's not only juggling distance learning, but now SPED. And so she's really having a hard time. But I think what is important is for her to see that I'm struggling too. Because I think sometimes she doesn't want to come to me with her, like, I don't know, she's stressed out and she sees that. So if I tell her like, this is hard for me too, like, this isn't easy for any of us. I kind of saw like, oh, she felt better just knowing she thinks she's too stressed out. And I was like, we all are, we're all struggling with this. And so I think just being really real with her and really telling her, you know, you're not the only one that's struggling is really helpful for them to hear.
I think that, oh, go on.
No, it's okay, good.
Oh, your turn. Go ahead. Hi.
No, I was just going to tag on to that.
Aww. Needing housing, that's on low. I'm like, oh, Lord. Let's talk. Teacher need.
It wasn't my intention, but I'm thinking as I'm looking at this list that this could become a great source for organizing professional development for our beginning teachers. We've just done a needs assessment.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It's a lot of different varied issues.
And does this only apply to new teachers?
I know.
Like,
I'm working too many hours myself.
No.
Megan, even more than before. Girl.
That's what everybody says.
Don't even know.
That is
Don't
what
even
we
know.
say.
That is so
I
true.
know.
That's why I am thankful to be back. I'm like, oh, put that mask on and let's do this. Yeah.
We don't get to go back till January.
Oh.
Our
Maybe
board
something
said no.
miraculous will happen. You never know.
The
please.
KMPH news said last night, though, that Madera County is within 1 week of going from purple to red,
Yeah,
which would allow schools.
yeah,
to
but
open
our
again.
board is said no.
Well, they do have a little bit of
There's
say.
too many unknowns. There's too many unknowns, and that's what it is.
There's going to be a lot of community pressure to open the schools soon if all the other schools are opening and ours aren't.
True. Yeah. So maybe it'll change.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, now North Fork is opening November 2nd. Robin, you guys said your schools were opening or are opening.
November 2nd also, yes.
So jealous.
I know Sherman Thomas is opening on January. I think Webster Elementary got a waiver and they're open. Is that right,
Yes,
Megan?
that's me. I'm open. I've been teaching for 3 days.
Oh.
And so.
Oh, I love it. Sorry. I'm like, I'm loving it.
The
I bet.
Yes, yes.
Golden Valley's board feels about 180% different. They're contentious about getting these schools open and angry that they aren't. They had a big old blowout meeting, I guess, what, a month ago in their board meeting at Golden Valley?
I don't know.
I heard rumors that one of the board
Oh,
presidents.
yes, I take it back. I don't watch. I'm not a, yes, I did. You're right. There was a big old crazy that went on. I just don't, yeah. That's
So
just
who
not my
knows?
thing.
But even if they send back, though, some of us in Madera Unified, they're not sending back us in high school. We're not going back anytime soon. I don't see us going back at all this school year.
Well, Madera County is about to switch from purple to red, which would allow the schools to make a choice.
Yeah, but I don't know, because what districts are opening up for the high school? Because I haven't heard many for high schools and middle schools. I've only heard elementary.
They got the waivers, but I'm guessing that Golden Valley is going to open Liberty High School and Ranchos Middle School as soon as the county lets them. I'm pretty certain that they're going to do that. So we'll probably see them open up within the next 2 to 3 weeks if the numbers stay correct.
Well, I haven't heard dates yet. So.
Hopefully it works out, because I was on that thing over the summer where you got to read all the documents on what you have to do, and I don't see how they can feasibly make it happen for high school. It's gonna be a nightmare. I mean, it's already a nightmare. Everything's a nightmare, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't feel that there's light at the end of our tunnel.
True that. My husband says the light is the election.
You guys there?
I got booted off for a little bit, but I'm here now.
Okay, we'll put you in a breakout room.
Hi, Steve. I've been in and out of this whole thing, so I think I'm in here finally.
Okay, let me, let's see here. Let's put you in room 2 and assign to 8.
documents with you and look at their quality of work
Okay.
before you allow them to submit anything to the readers. Do
Hi, Steve.
encourage them to hi Steve, yeah, share their
Hi.
documents with you and look at their quality of work, and their quality of answers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we
as
have
far
some
for
questions
us,
for you.
there's
We
only
kind
one
of went on
document.
a tangent a little bit talking. I asked some questions and we've been talking about
productive.
It's been, yeah, because not all of us are very clear because of last year ending with COVID, right? So we never really kind of finished the last year with our people. And so we've never gone through the process before. So we're
Okay.
talking about the 3 focus students, the artifacts, the presentation, because some of us were not feeling like we had and Nancy was doing a really great job. She was kind of talking us through it because a lot of us have only done this 1 year before, right? So, and it was kind of like a botched year. So
You guys never did get to the presentation stage.
no.
Okay. So what sounds like my better idea is to grab, I have new mentors and anyone that wants review to have presentation training maybe next month in November. And then we will have combined mentor and IT candidate training in February. Would that help if I had a training for you in November?
Yes.
Okay. And at that time, I can even share some of the videos from last year that we recorded. Here's what I do know. I was looking at and getting excited. Hey, we're going to open schools, and I can have. And then I realized that with the rules, I still can't have mentor meetings out here because I can't put 40 people in a room. I don't have the plastic barriers. I don't have. So I'm stuck. I know now that I'm stuck in this Zoom mode for the whole year. And we had hoped that we could have personal presentations to a panel like we've done in the past. That's not going to happen. This year, we're going to do what we did again last year. Everyone's going to make a Zoom presentation and record themselves and then share it. So unfortunately, I'm stuck. So I will do that. November, new mentor or review, for those that want review, presentation training. So you get a pre-taste of what that's all about. But
Thank
what you
you.
need,
I
what you,
also, and that would also maybe cover the types of artifacts and things we're supposed to be collecting for those.
the best place for that is to review the video in the classroom, ILP and journal writing.
Okay.
There's a video on that.
I apologize. I think that might have been, I thought that I've been to everything, but maybe I haven't. Okay.
We've gone through things so quickly too. It's hard to know.
Okay. Thank you.
But the artifacts that they're collecting really centers on the pathway. Think about the pathway for a moment. So you wrote multiple parts in your pathway, or they're doing that right now that says, I'm going to go to a Kagan training. And then, by the way, Kagan is being offered online this year. So you can Zoom a Kagan. So you go to a Kagan and you say, okay, I'm going to try the reporting technique and the strategy. And that's what the teacher says in their journal. I tried this strategy. This is how it worked. This is how it affected student outcomes. Or you observe them and you pointed out the way you lost their attention when you answered the phone, whatever. And they can comment that on that in their journal. Those are the things that we're looking for. The pathway is the key.
Well, just a quick question about just the paperwork. I just want to make sure that I have it's just one form, right? And just different areas. And I've been doing the meetings with them, but is that the one just to say to write just bullets, like we talk about, I don't know, whatever. So you need to write the whole date for whatever you said for that date, and then bullets with information, that kind of stuff. And that's all you turn in for that a month, right? The monthly thing.
We tried to streamline as much as possible so you didn't have papers flying all over the place.
Okay. Okay.
And
I'm so used to so many forms, but this one, if this is just one, is better. I like it.
That's exactly right. So if you are doing an observation, it goes on the collab blog. If they're observing somebody else, it goes on the collab blog. All of it there. And the elaboration of that information should be in the journal. So your collaboration log and their journal ought to kind of line up.
Yeah.
So,
but I might have more information than they do.
They should have more than you.
Huh?
They should have more than you.
Okay.
Right? We're trying to make it simple for you, bro.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't quite sure. I felt like I needed 20 forms to turn in.
That's the old stuff. We got rid of that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Did you guys get a chance to look at that needs? That thing is growing like leaps and bounds. It's. I think we
still
just
need
did.
signatures, right, on everything?
Well, that was two different things we were talking about. I was talking about the doc we were working on right now. What you're talking about with the signatures on the collab log, yes, I need signatures, but I'll take electronic signatures this year because of our COVID situation. But yeah, we need signatures on that. All right, I'm gonna leave. We'll be coming back in about a minute and a half.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Hello, how's it going?
Hi, sorry, I was in originally, but then I got kicked out. My internet went out. And so I was only able to be a part of the breakout rooms when we were talking about how to best support like being a mentor, like we filled out the chart, but I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
Is there going to be a recording of this?
We are recording it.
Is the meeting done?
No, they're coming back out of breakout rooms in about 30 seconds or so.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all controlled chaos. I mean, this is so yeah.
Yeah, this is like it's definitely challenging this year for everyone. Hello. And then I have little ones. Sorry.
I understand. Been there and done that. Well, welcome back, everybody. That was a big list that you put out. I think that might be a great place to start in looking at a needs assessment and seeing what we can do to help these teachers out. What was the advice that you saw something in there that you really thought, boy, I could help that person? What were some ideas you had as you saw the needs for helping our beginning teachers? Uh-oh, what happened?
What was the question you're asking?
What was some advice you would have for some of the needs that you saw?
Run for your life. I'm
The
just
website
kidding,
tells
Steve. I'm
me it's
just
not
kidding.
functioning. That's
No,
so
we
bad.
were looking. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I would say don't isolate yourself and don't think that you're alone and don't beat yourself up, because there's some of us that have been doing this for many years and we still get things wrong, and we're all in a new learning process with the distance learning, and seek support, just seek support, and us as mentors too, seek additional help. How can we find support to be able to provide support to our mentees? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that that word collaboration, it's a big one. And I love that word because we all need to work together, and I don't know all the answers. And but at least when I talk to them, I would know where to get help, the help that they need. But I mean, I even need help. I'm actually learning from my the mentees that are working with as well when we share strategies of how we teach our students, because we're all teaching the same grade levels, so which is nice. So it's just they're doing something, and I'm just part of the whole training. You know, that communication. So it's not like I know everything, because I don't. So we're just learning together and working together, and this is new too for to all of us. So it's just that work collaboration I really like, especially nowadays.
Good. What other ideas do you have?
I think reminding them that to have a balance. I noticed that was a big thing that was coming up with a lot.
Yes.
That, you know, even if you work, I saw someone wrote that they work until 3 a.m. Well, the stuff is always going to be there. That was one of the biggest learning curves, is that, you know what, it'll be there tomorrow. Yes, you want to get on top of it, but sometimes it kind of feels like laundry. Like you never, as soon as you finish it, it starts over again. So just remember that, yes, it's important to get things done and try to stay on top of it, but you'll
Yeah, you'll never become, I tell the new teacher, I said, you'll never be done. You could move a cot into your classroom and still not get it all done. It's always going to be there for you when you come back. There'll always be something else you could do.
You see that as the biggest need out there? You guys maybe throw a thumbs up that balancing personal with work is this year especially the biggest challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, we're moving into the holiday season, so we're going to get most of you have Veterans Day off, and then we got Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then so we're getting closer to getting some time off. Hopefully the people's batteries can get rejuvenated. But we also know that teachers go through phases, and we're approaching the disillusionment phase of the year, where teachers wonder, why did I get into this business? I don't know. So we need to really help encourage them and pump them up and get them through, because when we get to April, they'll feel better about all of this and keep going strong. All right. Well, thank you. Actually, you have given me a great piece of data to work with, and I appreciate that. We're going to move on. And I'm going to try and I'm going to break you up into, I'm going to give you a choice, actually. And so it's going to take me a few minutes to do. But I'm going to make 8 breakout rooms, and these are going to be the topics A, B, C, and D. Deliberate practice to develop expertise, effective relationships between mentors and mentees, focused feedback, and opportunities to observe and discuss effective teachers. There's going to be an A room and a B room. It won't matter which one but I just wanted to try to make the 8 rooms. But each of these is a link to an article that you need to read before you have your discussion. And then there is a reporting doc that you can fill out. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing because that's the only way I can do the breakout rooms. And let me recreate, and let's do this. And then I'm going to say, give me a minute while you start reading that article.
How do we know which one to read?
You will get to, you can choose any of the 4, but when the one you read is the room that you're going to go to.
Steve, all I see is you. How do I get to my it was there?
You need to go back into the classroom, open up that presentation and go to that slide, and then click on the link.
What if we're driving on our car phones?
Dan, do you need me to come over to your house and show you how to do that?
That was a long sigh.
Oops. All right, so I'm going to create these rooms and you get to select.
Where?
It didn't do it?
I don't, did you? do you
No,
guys see?
nothing.
No.
If
You
you
have-
you have to go to the
It's
breakout.
in the upper left-hand corner. It says join breakout room and there's like 4 little squares and you get to pick.
I don't have that.
I don't see that.
Share
I
your
see it,
screen
Steve.
and show me.
I even practiced this afternoon to make this work. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, you thought you were gonna have it easy, huh?
I can't wait to see this though, because I want to try this with my kids. Kids get to
It's
pick their own
where it
rooms.
says
That's great.
join breakout room. You know where you join breakout room? It's right there and there's 4 squares and then you click on them and then you get to pick which one you want to go to, which I've never seen. So thanks for doing that, Steve.
I don't have an icon.
Share your screen so I can see what you're talking about. I don't think I have it.
Green.
I don't have that either.
Look it.
Well, I'm on my phone, so maybe mine looks different than your computer, I bet.
Okay.
And I have the Zoom app.
Oh, I don't have it either. Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you access it when you're on your?
Okay, so not all computers have that because it depends on what version you have. Like I have an old computer from 2011. I don't have that.
I don't either.
If you're on your phone, you need to tap the screen once and it will pop up. But I don't know about on the computer.
It depends on what version you have.
I have an old computer.
I have a newer computer and it doesn't give me that option.
I have a really new one and I can't find it.
Yeah, normally it would come up down in the bottom next to reactions. It would say breakout room, like if I was already assigned and I would be able to go from there, but I don't see that either.
You know how Zoom has personal settings and you can set them as the teacher, you know, for what you want? Maybe if you don't have this personal setting set for us personally, then we can't see the breakout room options.
Okay.
I don't have them.
It's going to take me too long to assign you to a room, so I'm going to have.
Steve, can you just put us all in a breakout room and then just assign us an article to read?
Yep, I'm going to punt. And thank you, Cindy. I'm going to put you in a room and then tell you what article to read. My apologies. And those that are already in rooms are going to get surprised when I cancel them. I even practiced this so it wouldn't do this, but okay.
Well, it worked for some people.
Yeah.
The game is starting right now, isn't it?
Shh. Distracting me.
Come on. It's not working. We got to go.
All right. So now it says I have to wait. So y'all are coming back. Try this again.
Aha, joke's on you guys.
Steve, for those of us that left and got into the breakout room, can you tell us how to do that? That was super cool.
It says that you can create a room, the option button on the bottom left. So I did, and I named the rooms, and then there's a button that says you can let them select what room they want to go to.
Okay.
But apparently, it sort of kind of works.
It
So
works.
that-
Do it.
That would be good for Four Corners.
Right? All right. So let's do. So it's when you create the rooms, there's 3 buttons: assign automatically, assign manually, let participants choose room. Now I'm going to go to assign automatically, and it already has a name. So that'll tell you what article you need to review. Sorry about that, guys. It didn't, now the name's gone. All right, so let me rename it.
Isn't technology fun?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. All right.
LA is losing, by the way.
Oh, no, don't tell me that. We had an opener today instead of a starter, so I'm not surprised.
I'm just teasing, trying to get your attention.
Tony Gonsolin starting.
No, the Dodgers are losing.
Yeah, we are losing.
Rays are up 1-0.
Ouch.
Top of the first.
Time to go home.
Go any team but the Dodgers. Oh.
Right? Liz, I'm with you. Let's go Giants. Although we forgot to show up, but it's all right.
This wasn't a real season. It
No,
doesn't-
this was a wannabe season. I don't know what the heck this was. Hey, as long as the Niners are still showing up on Sundays,
Oh.
I'll be good. I love you, Megan. One of my teams has to show up
All
sometime,
right.
right?
Here we go.
Steve, we're confused. Sorry. Are we doing, because it says practice B. So are we doing deliberate practice to develop expertise or effective relationships?
No, practice, deliberate practice. There's 2 groups that are doing the practice. That's why you're an A group and a B group.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. Kylie will like it a lot because she's always talking about practice, practice, practice. And PE practice is different than the kind of practice we're talking about. So it's going to be a good discussion.
Hi. Whoops. I don't know what just happened. You said, okay, here we go. I heard you press the button. My blue box popped up. I joined and the whole thing went away. You're on mute.
Okay, do you know what room you were in?
No, I read the article, the first B article.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that was like, I just went poof.
All right, so I'm going to send you. You ready?
This is okay. See, I clicked join before and I went away. You want me to click it again?
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Oh, someone started.
Y'all had a question.
Hey, Steve.
We're not sure what we're supposed to be doing, Steve. Which article are we supposed to read?
The one on the relationships.
Effective relationships between mentors and mentees?
Yes, I believe this is breakout room 1, right?
We're in relationships A room.
Are you?
Says
So effective relationships between mentors, this one.
So when it says the letter A and it said relationships, was A for group 1?
Yes.
Like just breakout room? Oh, okay. See, we didn't know if it was like article A. Okay, no, we did read the right one then.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'm muted.
I tried to create 2 groups on the same topic so as to create smaller.
Oh, we're grouped.
Okay.
Got it.
And the initial intent was for you to be able to self-select that, but some could and some couldn't, and I had no idea that was going to occur. Isn't technology fun?
It was a cool idea though, Steve. I'm gonna figure out how to do that with my kids because I like that. They were able to do that. Hopefully, I can get it to work with the Chromebooks. I'm not sure what the issue was.
Daniel, you still in your office over there?
Yeah.
So you gonna listen to the game on the way home on your Sirius XM radio?
Yeah. Yeah, I met with one of my clients today, so I just stayed here.
So there is a document also to share out on. Did y'all find it?
Yeah, we found it. We were just a little bit, we were going to start typing on it, but we noticed that other people were typing on it too, but you cleared that up by saying that there's 2 groups per article.
Okay.
So it makes sense now.
All right. I'm going to leave you guys alone then.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I got kicked out. Oh, you're muted.
Which room were you in?
I didn't even, it was right when I think you hit it, I lost all contact with everybody. So I didn't even get placed into a room. And I just now got logged back on with you.
I also was kicked out and have been trying to get back in and just got back in. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Usually it gives me a choice here. Let's see what I can do here. Whitney, do you know which room it was?
What's that?
What room were you in? Do you know?
It never sent me to one. As soon as when it split, I got kicked off altogether.
Okay. Kelly, do you know what room you were in?
I believe it was an A room. I believe it was the deliberate practice room.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Still didn't send you, Whitney?
Mm-mm.
It sent the invite to you. On the bottom, does it say breakout rooms?
Yes.
Can you click that and see what happens?
Yep. Feedback A.
Okay.
That's there now. Now, was that what was supposed to pop up earlier before I go?
Yes.
And it didn't. So that's weird.
Yeah, it is. You get.
Temperamental. I get it. Okay, I'm going. Thanks.
All right. What a fun day I'm having. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Hi, Jody. Did you get kicked out again?
Yeah, thanks for putting me back in about 50 times. I'm on the road with my sister, and we don't have school this week, so we're traveling. So I just logged in off my phone, but it's been good. Yeah,
Where you headed?
we're all done in our breakout room.
Where are you headed? Uh-oh. Internet.
Okay, back from Massachusetts and moving back to Corscold. So I flew out and met her in Ohio. So we're in Vegas right now. We're just getting to our hotel here shortly.
Wow. That's a lot of road time.
Yeah, so I've been through 8 states, in the last couple of days. So it's been fun.
Well, it's probably the perfect time of year to go before all the real bad weather gets in. So
Yeah, we got a little bit of snow in Nebraska, but not too bad. But yeah, that was the plan. So it worked out with the October break. Have you ever driven across?
As far as Chicago.
To Chicago. Awesome. That's
I have-
far.
I spent 5 years in Wyoming. I lived in Wyoming for 5 years and
Really?
took a trip to Chicago. So I went that far, and I've been to Colorado a couple of times, and north. I haven't quite got to Texas, but I skirted around. I was New Mexico, Arizona. So I've gotten all the western states except for Texas.
Oh, except for Texas. Okay. Never been there. We were in Colorado yesterday. It was so pretty. With the river and the fall leaves and everything. It was awesome.
Yeah, you were up at 12,000 feet. Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, it was weird. They've had some fires though too, so it was a little smoky on like half of the state.
Yeah, my brother lives in Colorado Springs.
Oh, really?
He said that the Colorado's had a really bad fire year too.
Yeah, it wasn't just us, I guess. I didn't know that until we were over here.
And he said that they had the same problem with the beetle bark and bark beetle
Oh,
causing problems. So
yeah, lots of problems.
So you said your breakout room was kind of done, so maybe those other ones are done too?
Yeah, if you want to end it, I'm sure they're probably done because that form looked pretty good because we could see it all.
That is back too. All right, I think everybody is back now. And so we're going to take a look at that group feedback. So interesting article about the deliberate practice. What were some insights from the two groups that read the article on deliberate practice?
We said that, sorry, let's see. Oh, I can't find what we wrote. It should be specific. So one takeaway that was that you don't want to be automatic, so that you can focus in and look at specific needs. And that you need honest feedback and reflection with yourself, and then also with the mentee or whoever you're providing the feedback for. And often you can't get that if you're doing it on your own. You need someone else there as well.
Some of the data that shows sit and get professional development doesn't work because teachers try it, they struggle with it, and then they give up on it before they can master it. Our beginning teachers may do the same thing, even if they haven't gone to professional development. They might give up on a teacher practice to see its effectiveness.
That's what our group talked about. I probably used poor choice of words, but I said deliberate failure. You know what I mean? Whereas so much is like, it might not work at the beginning. I've done it many times, and it didn't take until maybe October that finally I realized that it started like paying off, or I seen the effectiveness or the worth, if you will, of that, whatever procedure or whatever that I was trying out. And so far, my mentee has tried out a lot of new things, and a lot of them worked. But then again, I'm talking about like technology and stuff, so
Right. But this is one of the reasons why the traditional sit and get professional development is waning across the country, because they're proving that it's not as effective as they hope. It's a great moneymaker for the companies that are putting them on, but it's not changing teacher practice. And one of them is that we're not being persistent enough with trying it and perfecting it and moving it forward.
And it's different than an athletic practice where we're trying to get muscle memory. The article talked about shooting 53 furrows to make sure that we can continue to do that. But teacher practice is constantly adjusting and constantly making new changes and constantly, really what it's saying is we need to be reflective and think, what could I do differently? What could I do better? And constantly asking ourselves that question. And that takes hard work. And everybody's up to I mean, we talked already this afternoon about how overwhelmed and challenged we are, and now are asking ourselves to do more hard work. But being persistent and with deliberate practice is critical. All right, what did we see in effective relationships? Many of the same things that we've been seeing over the years, but what insights did you glean from effective relationships?
Something our breakout session was talking about was called productive silence. Cindy, I believe, was in my breakout session, and she spoke of being an active listener, truly listening to what people are saying, and not just thinking about what our next response is going to be, but really thinking about what they're talking about, and then being someone who's providing a paraphrase to make sure that that communication was understood. So we found a lot of value in that. Our article made us laugh because we thought it was kind of getting to know you activities to build these relationships. And someone in our group, I'm forgetting your name right now, my apologies, stated it sounded really teachery or scripted. So we were snickering about that. So thank you.
Some of it is review. We have a mixture of new mentors and veteran mentors. So it's always good sometimes to go back over the basics. But I read something today, I read a quote, and I wish I could remember who I read it from, said, don't teach me what to think, teach me how to think. And I think that as teachers, that's our job. We're not supposed to teach our kids what to think, but how to think for themselves and be critical thinkers. But the same applies for our teachers. How often do we provide an answer for a teacher without them really thinking it through? We want to fix the problem as fast as possible. I call it the spackle method, right? You got a hole in the drywall, let's spackle it as quickly as we can and cover it up and move on to the next problem. But we really learn when we struggle with our own problems and figure out the answer. So I like that time to think, or at least listening long enough so that they probably solve their own problem by talking out loud.
Steve, I think it's important to have a balance with every relationship, everything. But especially when it comes to like relationships around education, you got to have a balance there, you know, good and bad. You know, teachers that are real negative, you know, if you're around 5 teachers that are negative, you'll be the 6th. So, you know, it's find that balance of relationships and find people that encourage you and build you up and that you can work with and you can help them too, you know.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, and
Any other
before you have
insights?
anything negative to say, you probably need to build a strong interpersonal relationship before you start letting loose with the negative talk.
Agreed. All right, focused feedback. That's the column on the left. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. What were some insights you gained from focused feedback?
Well, I guess Jessica took all the notes. I thought she was going to do the talking, but maybe that's not fair. And I think the rest of my group kind of vanished in the crowd. The thing that we picked up on that we liked with focused feedback was video observations. That seems to be very poignant in this setting. But also to make sure that you're giving feedback on what the mentee has asked as an area of growth. You're not giving them feedback on what you think is an area of growth. Those are the things that we really liked. Having the mentee collect the data themselves instead of you collecting the data and showing it to them, that was a really nice point. The one thing we didn't like, and we started harping on, is that they espoused some sort of scientific method where you actually try a teaching strategy with one group of kids, but then you don't try it with another group of kids. And then you do a pre and post test on both of those kids. And we all kind of balked at that because, I mean, if it's a good strategy, you want all your kids to have it. And is it really a good experiment? I mean, did you randomly select those two groups of kids? Did you have a large data set to compare it to? So we didn't think that that was an excellent suggestion. So we started picking that apart a little bit.
Very good, very good. Amanda, last year you used video cameras exclusive quite a bit, right? Can you say a little bit how effective that was in there were PIP, STIPs, and interns that you're working with?
They were all PIP, STIPs, and interns, and actually Cynthia and I both used it not only to do their TPAs, but I filmed my teachers, and I shared this with one of my groups, not in this breakout, but it was good for them to see. I mean, they were like, I don't want to film, and I'm like, oh, see, it's just you and I who are going to look at it, because they really thought at the end of the lesson, like, oh, I did really good. And then they watch it and they're like, oh my God, that's horrible. And I'm like, okay, so I don't need to say anything, you know? And I'm like, well, let's pick 2 areas you want to work on. What, you know? So I would frequently do that. And they got used to it. You know, now like one of them's like, she's filming herself now, recording her lessons now, so she can see herself, you know, because she says, you know, God, you taught me last year. Like, I think, you know, things are looking good. And then I watch my video and go, oh my God, I sucked. And I'm like, no, you didn't suck. You just have room for improvement. That's awesome. Because especially with the new teachers, we have to teach them how to be reflective because they don't understand that. And something that Cynthia and I did last year, I had my people reflect on one lesson a day, just to themselves. So they can kind of just think about the lesson, how they want to redo the lesson. And both of my teachers, and I hear from, because I had 14 last year, I hear from other ones as well. And they're like, I still do that. I still do that. You know, when I think things are going well, I'll reflect on the lesson and go, yeah, it didn't go well. Because it just helps them and, you know, it encourages them to not just keep going along, but look at the practice and how can I change it? So I do know from feedback from my people that they really enjoyed that, and it was helpful for them to see themselves in an outside view looking in.
Yeah, and it's pure data too, without any.
Well, and it
any
helps them
bias.
when their principal comes in because they're not as nervous, you know, because they're used to like, well, and Cindy and I were in there couple times a week, so they got used to people being in there, but that helps as well because, you know, they get one person who comes in and oh my God, and they just lose. I have a student teacher right now, and her person came in and it was like, I'm like, what happened? Like, and she just looked at me like, that was horrible. And I'm like, you just got to get used to people seeing you, and so that makes a difference for them as well.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for sharing.
I had to say that to my mentee. I was like, I told him exactly, I need to talk to Steve about the recording thing, but so we were under the impression that he was going to go observe people. And I said, don't be surprised if I go and ask and they say no. Like, I don't, yeah, you got to respect that. But also, like, you know, with these new times, I don't know if they have a lot that they're willing to offer, mainly because, like, for me, I'd be embarrassed, you know, right now, because like, I don't think I'm an all-star teacher this year at all. You know what I mean? And so I have a feeling that's a shared sort of feeling across the board.
But you got to look at it as even like when I was in BITSA when it first started in the 90s, I'll never forget, my mentor teacher told me, you will learn from me as much what to do as what not to do. And so they're learning your good practices, and they're also learning like, oh, I probably wouldn't do that. I would do it this way. But then they're cognizant of that as well, you know? And, you know, Cindy and I tape ourselves all the time. I mean, we have to because of the job we were in. And it's good because it helps you reflect. You know, not everybody is a student. Nobody's a superstar, and everybody can get better at what they're doing. You know, and it's looked at as a positive thing. I mean, you guys wouldn't be mentors if you weren't, you know, good teachers.
So I could write you down as a possible person to observe, right?
You totally need to observe her. Yes, she's a rock star.
I agree. I was out of my comfort zone, but I'm mentoring. One of my people is my grade level. So it seems easy enough to just send a recording of myself. And after we watched it, I was like, okay, so what's one thing that you liked? And she had a suggestion. I said, and what's something that, you know, I could have improved upon? She's like, no, everything was great. I was like, are you kidding? This was like a joke. I realized through watching myself again, it is kind of embarrassing, but by being open and showing them that we're not perfect, it really helped her. So, I mean, I think that's part of the building trust too.
Good. All right, let's go to this last one. Observe and discuss log. This was the fourth group. Who's in the fourth group that wants to share out?
I guess I'll speak. My whole group is being quiet. So in here it spoke about alternative places to implement observations. So if you can't get a recording in district, you can look out of district, look on YouTube. There's also the teaching channel. There's an importance as a mentor to pre-screen recorded videos and make sure that that video that you can utilize that's a pre-screen or a pre-recorded video has the quality instruction you're looking for and also provides evidence for the teacher's growth goals. Reaching out to teachers for their implemented lessons. So everyone's been doing that in the chat today, looking for people to steal ideas from and send their teachers to go and observe. Making sure the teaching is effective, that you're strategic with people that your teachers are going to observe. So there's teachers out there that don't fear change and they don't have a fear of failure, and they know that learning by doing is the way you become a good teacher. So finding those people that continue to do so no matter where they're at and their instructional expertise, trying to observe together and discussing what's being observed. You can pause a video and you can discuss right away and then start it again.
Yes.
Sorting strategies. So making sure you discuss with the teacher, what is something you already do? What is something you don't do that you want to try? Or what is something you see that the other teacher uses that you already use and you need to refine it? And then making sure that teachers know, a lot of people were already touching on that you should feel comfortable being observed yourself. And you should also ensure that you continually observe others no matter where you are, because that's how you grow. I know that most teachers that I've supported feel like they get the most out of an observation of a peer, so they can see anything that the district requires or site admin when it's actually being implemented. They're more willing to try it because they're seeing that it works. And then just some ideas our group was talking about was having a district library. So some districts create libraries that only teachers can access with,
Oh, wow.
It's organized by strategy. So people can preview recorded lessons based off of something they want to grow in or attempt or share, or it could even be a specific curriculum. And then when we're talking about observing pre-recorded videos, ensuring that teachers actually know how to record themselves in the different recording softwares, how to download that and how to share it. So I know with my job, sometimes you're not even allowed to share a YouTube link because of copyright laws. So what are the other ways to share your videos? So
Interesting. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's go back to our little slideshow here. We are almost done. Okay, so I have something for you that I want you to do again. I would like for you to create your own growth goals for yourself as a mentor. And so if you can see my little cursor, there's a rubric and this mentor teacher growth plan. and a folder to put them in, and I'd like you to do that by December 1st. Okay. So there's a rubric, looks like this. This is a self-assessment of your ability to be a mentor that I'd like you to complete. You do not have to share it with me. This is for your own information. It's just a little typo in there. Okay. So all of you need to do the rubric and self-assess your mentor, yourself as a mentor. And then I would like for you to complete your mentor teacher growth plan. And you're going to actually write 3 goals for the year. And you're going to share it with me in this folder that I've shared with you via the classroom by December 1st. Any questions about that?
Would it be appropriate to ask our mentees to rate us on this scale, or would you just want this to be reflective?
I want it to be reflective because they want to be real nice and they probably won't be as honest with you as you want them to be. So
You don't know my mentee.
Kids these days, what are you going to do with them?
So Steve, are we supposed to copy, like make a file, make a copy of each of these and then submit them to you?
All I want is the plan. Yes, you'll need to click file, make a copy of the plan, put your name on it, and then share it with me in that folder that I shared with you.
Okay, great, thanks.
Just want our goals by December 1st.
Yes, so I want you to complete this plan by December 1st. So all 3 columns,
All 3 columns.
yes. Questions? Y'all look tired. I'm gonna let you go, but I want you to do one more thing for me. There's a feedback form I'd like you to fill out so that I could get feedback on how we're doing. And Amanda, I don't know if I want to watch my own recording of this. This is a pretty rocky training, all the tech issues that we had, but I'll probably take a look at it. And I would appreciate everybody's feedback.
Welcome to our daily life, right, guys? You know what? It happens to all of us. And like I said, you just grow the more you watch. Grow.
And roll with the punches. So if you would do that evaluation for me, guys, otherwise have a great night. Some of you are on the road, to drive safe and enjoy your evening.
Go Rays.
Bye.
Have
Bye,
a good night.
guys.
So both the rubric and the plan is going into that Dropbox, right?
Just the planner.
Got it. All right.
Steve, where is the feedback form?
It's on the last slide.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, the Rays are still winning 1-0.
So I see.
One of the questions on your feedback form is what new learning will you use? And my only choice is to click this little option 1
Yeah.
radio.
The feedback form. you can-
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let me get in there. All right.
So you need to make it a text box instead.
Yep.
I already submitted it with the option 1, but have a great night.
Option 1, whatever that is.
I was like, because I've done the same thing with my students, right?
Option 1.
So my answer is option 1. Have a lovely evening. My family's waiting for me on the
Go
beach.
to the pool. Yeah, the beach. That's awesome. Have
No,
fun.
seriously, they're on a bench and I'm like, I want to go. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Stephanie, I hope you're not mad at me for putting you on blast.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
So I'm trying to open this feedback form and it says this site can't provide a secure connection.
Oh.
That's a new one.
And I'm connected just fine.
Don't worry about it. I'll get everybody else's feedback.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, guys, I'm going to end.
Thanks.
You guys have a great evening.
Go Dodgers.
Yay.
No, not really.